What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blueclouds TV. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blueclouds Media Live, brought to you. Welcome to Football Minutes Live, brought to you by Blueclouds Media. Yes, sorry about that. Yes, welcome back to the show again. This is the show that brings you everything regarding everything, specifically Chelsea Football Club, and we do talk about everything association football. It's been a long day, Steven. I'll be all right. All right, yeah. What a day. Join us live as we get into the heated debate on Chelsea fans' outrage towards Robert Sanchez after the Blue disappointing 2-1 defeat to Manchester United. We'll also dive into deep as the fans' reaction, analyze Sanchez's performance, and discuss whether he's causing Chelsea lots of points. So get ready for the passionate and discuss the discussion and hear from Chelsea fans worldwide as we also discuss Chelsea second worst performance this season. Pochettino has lots of questions to answer to Chelsea fans. We're also going to look into John Terry's career as a club legend, also as he celebrates his birthday today. Does a manager antics at the touchline influence the player's performance or not? We'll also get into that question. Should Chelsea replace Robert Sanchez in the January transfer window? It's up to you to decide whether we need to replace him, because I know a lot of you guys know that he's making lots and lots of mistakes, but it's all about time. Let's see what we got going on here. Big up to you, KLC. KLC, it's been a long time. I hope you're doing very, very well. He says, hello, my brother. I hope you're doing well too. Myself. Steven. Steven is here with me. We're gonna get through the shambolic performance of Chelsea's second worst performance in the Premier League. Steven G, I know you're not a happy person from the way Chelsea played just yesterday. Steven, let's get into the game itself. We don't have that we don't have much time to discuss this review on the game. But Steven, Chelsea lost again. Still at the 10th position. We're not moving up. We're not moving down. We're stuck in that position. What is going on with your team, Steven?
I think I wouldn't normally say this as an excuse. So when I say this, bear with me, I'll explain, right?
Yeah.
I think a factor of what happened is Sunday, right? Because the majority of players that played last night played the majority of the game time on Sunday. Now, I wouldn't normally say something like that, but let's remember for about an hour of that game, we were down to 10. So we had to make up for being that one player down by everyone up in their work rate, doing that little bit more running and all of this. So maybe that's a factor. I think it is a possibility for sure. It doesn't help that Sanchez distribution is absolutely shocking. I think I counted 5 times he passed the ball directly to them where they could have ended
Yeah.
up having a shot. So that's not very helpful either. But yeah, I think the fact that we were playing with 10 because of Gallagher's red card on Sunday, I think there was a bit of fatigue coming from that game as well, because
Yeah.
obviously the majority of the lineup is the same. You think Disasi went out, Kukurea came in, and then Palmer came in for Gallagher. If I'm not mistaken, they're literally the only 2 changes from the lineup from Sunday. So
Yeah.
everyone else played a big part of that game on Sunday and also started yesterday.
Mosto, big up to you, Mosto. Big up to KOC. He said the midfield cost us badly. He's blaming on the midfield, but also let's look at. I know there's not been a lot of questions on Mauricio Pochettino. So many questions have been asked with other Premier League coaches. We all know Nottingham Forest coach is under scrutiny. They said he has one more game and then he will be fired. And I've heard lots of questions, a lot of news also coming from Evangelist Marinaki, the owner of Fulham. I think Fulham, right? Not Fulham. Yeah,
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest Football Club. So also he's under scrutiny. Why is no one talking about Mauricio Pochettino, Steven? No one is talking about
No, there's a lot of our fan base who are Poch out at the moment. And to anyone that is Poch out, if there's anyone in here that is, I invite you to put in the comment section who your replacement would be. If you can give me a replacement, fair enough. But anyone I have asked that is Poch out, they can't give me a replacement, and if they can, it's not a realistic one. Someone said to me the other day they'd take let's get Zidane. Zidane ain't coming to England. That ain't happening. Especially when we've got a lot of young players and not ready-made players. So on those 2 things, he wouldn't come. So let's keep it to realistic people who can actually come in and do better than what Poch is doing. I say 2, probably 3 at most.
Yeah.
Shocking performances this season. For the most part, don't have any issues with the performances. For the most part, we've actually been unlucky not to get the results, especially against the bigger teams. You could make the argument we deserve to have more points than we do. And I'm not going to complain about that because it's a fact, in my opinion, that we should have more points than we do, whether that be because our keeper makes a silly error against Arsenal or whether there's a BS decision that goes against us, like the penalty against Man City. I think that's BS. That cost us 4 points across those 2 games. So it changes things. Even those 4 points change things massively for the outlook of the table. But I think, as I keep saying, we need an elite goalkeeper, an elite striker, and probably an elite left back. Players that have experience and are already great to elite and can come in and make an immediate impact on his team. I don't think we can get that in January. But if we can get a pre-deal done for the summer for 1 or 2 of those positions, I'll happily take it. On the goalkeeper thing, you said in the intro, would you sell should Chelsea get rid of Sanchez, whether that's loan sale or whatever? For me, I'd say you don't get rid of him entirely because that's just pointless.
Steven, we'll come to this Sanchez because let's go according to what we have here, so we don't jump back again regarding Sanchez situation. Let's talk a little bit more on the performance of the team, and then we can move on to we talk about Mauricio Pochettino a little bit. Then we'll move on to Sanchez before we go to John Terry's birthday celebration. We look at his career and what he's doing now before we wrap up. And I know a lot of guys also have a lot of things to do. And also the comment section below, the comments are coming in. As Metaface Doom is also in there. Makeem is joining us live. Also, the most two also joining us live. life. They most said, how did this happen? I thought Pochettino came with good tactics, ideas, and also I
He
want
did.
to love you forever. Also repping the channel live. She said, "Hello, Nick Zion and Steven. I hope you're both well. Yesterday's game was a disappointment for all of us Chelsea fans. Sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Chelsea didn't make you happy that much yesterday. Makim also says, big up, Nee, big up to you, my brother. My brother, I hope you're doing very, very well. It's always nice to see you guys back. And also, yeah, Metaface Doom is also, like I said, just repping the channel. He said, big up, Nee Zion. It was boys versus men against yesterday. Chelsea did not put up a good performance. And to me, I put down this. Chelsea did not show much of a fighting spirit. They did not show the character. They did not show did not show what they're really made of. You know, there was smiles, big gap between Chelsea and Manchester United in the second half. I mean, in the first half, you could say there was Chelsea were trying to do something, but in the second half, they went off. And I know lots of this also came from, you know, Cucurella from the left hand side. He was all over the place, always out of position. He couldn't mark his man very, very well. And Ten Hag tactics was really, really spot on. He knew how to play Chelsea. Ten Hag really knew how to play Chelsea. He did the right thing and he was spot on. What I keep saying to Chelsea, Steven, is Steven, I've said this many times. I said the only way that Mauricio Pochettino can get Chelsea to its best is anytime a coach come to Chelsea, what they do is they make Stamford Bridge a fortress. They make their mark. Mourinho came
It
in as the
hasn't been one
special.
for a long time.
Yeah, Mourinho came in as a special one. When he came in, the first thing, his egos, the way he talked to the players, and I understand it's been over 20 years now. The way players are being treated back in those days, it's a bit different from now. But then the manager talk, the way he transfer his message to the players have to be that effective. Now, also having the on our list, the list that we have there, I did said that does the manager's antics on the touchline have any effect on the players or during game time? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of time it does. I don't see that much from Mauricio Pochettino. He's doing the same thing that I saw Lampard did when he came in the first time. He was being fired, and the second time he did the same thing. So a lot of question has been asked Mauricio Pochettino if he can only if he's the guy to take Chelsea forward. I think he's got a long way to go because this team has a long way to go to be start playing as one or start winning trophies or winning games consistently. Steven, Mauricio Pochettino, do you think he's the right guy to take Chelsea to the next level? Tactically, consistently, it's not there. Performance level is not there. And I understand players. Gallagher was in there, but should Chelsea always rely on certain players all the time to win games? Look at Newcastle. I understand they lost today, but although with the number of players that they're missing, the intensity in their game hasn't faded away. When they're playing, although they're missing the players, you can tell that they're fighting for something. They're fighting. They're playing very hard to achieve something. Steven, do you see that from our players?
I don't think Poch is the issue. I think the issue is that we've got a lot of young players who are inexperienced, and with inexperience, you're going to get inconsistency.
Okay.
I mean, we should expect this. I mean, I think I said it the other day about inconsistency. That if people didn't expect inconsistency, then I don't know what to tell them, honestly. Because realistically, with anyone who's young, they can't perform consistently straight away. They're still developing, and that's part of the issue. That's why we need to get a couple more experienced players into this team, because then they can help those players grow, but they can also, when we're not performing as well, they can take the burden of that and then they can take it into their hands and carry the team in those moments. To be honest, I don't think United were that good yesterday. I just think we were the worst team. I don't
Yeah,
think
we were
they
very
were
poor.
particularly good. I think they were kind of bad as themselves as well. You look at it as, okay, we were bad, but we also still had chances. And in terms of, you look at the one where Sterling's played it across to Jackson, arguably you could make the argument that that pass should be a bit closer to Jackson. It was sort of 50-50 in terms of distance between him and the keeper. It makes it a bit awkward. That's not me going at Sterling. It's just one example. There's other examples. You've got Mudryk. He tried to put one in the near post. He's just misplaced it. It's gone just wide. Like, we had plenty of chances, in my opinion. I say that, okay, we didn't have, I don't think we had a load of shots, but we did have more than our fair share of chances, and more of our fair share of chances that we should have taken that we didn't. So we were our own worst enemy. Let's be honest.
I do agree with you, Steven. Speaking of that, we were our own enemies. Look, there were lots of chances that Chelsea created. You talked about the chances that was being created in the 12 minutes, and also lots of mistakes coming from Sanchez. He put the whole team under lots of pressure. Coming in, we're gonna go to Sanchez. The next topic we'll be looking at is Sanchez is the guy we'll be looking at. But before we go into Sanchez, let me read us a few comments we have here. Metalface Doom said lack of discipline, which I do I agree with him
To be fair,
100%.
I
Lack of
wouldn't say that
discipline.
was an issue yesterday. Yesterday, I know
No,
you even
yesterday
got
wasn't.
a single yellow.
He's just trying to say lack of discipline in terms of a number of yellow cards that the players have conceded so far in about 13 or 14 Premier League games. McKim also said apart, apparently it has to be others from top. There has been no progression in play since early Thomas Tuchel. I've saw that articles. A lot of people are referring to Thomas Tuchel when he was at Chelsea. Big up to Liverpool fan who is strong supporter of this channel. Mr. Ryan, welcome back to the channel, and how you doing, sir?
Thanks, Nee. I'm doing well. Glad to be here on the show, and yeah, interesting to discuss the games yesterday and today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I know you are a very busy man. Work takes a lot of hours away from you, so you don't get that much time. But you are always around anytime after 10. But I know you don't have very much time. You definitely have to go to bed soon. But yes, Ryan, we are discussing the Chelsea loss and also some other Premier League games. Some also took place today. Manchester City lost the game. The top four is widely open. And then Sanchez, the next to talk about is Robert Sanchez, the Chelsea #1 goalkeeper. So, guys, stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back in a second. Welcome back to Football Minutes Live, brought to you by Blueclouds Media. We're streaming live on YouTube and also live on Facebook. You can find us at Blueclouds Media on Facebook, and also we're streaming live to Twitter X, so you can find us there. It's open there. If you go to Twitter, we are live on that platform also. Mr. Ryan and Mr. Steven has given us his opinion on how Chelsea lost and why Chelsea lost. Mr. Ryan, you just joining us here. Give us take about a minute or two outline Chelsea's performance and why you think Chelsea are still losing before we get into Robert Sanchez stinky bad performance so far with the football club, whether he deserves to be in that #1 spot or we should try the second goalkeeper, which is Petrovic, or should we look for another goalkeeper? De Gea is there as a free agent. Can we get that guy in to help us? I don't trust in this Sanchez anymore. Mr. Ryan, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen the extended highlights of the game, but certainly Man United started more strong, had a stronger start than Chelsea. I think the penalty was a joke. You know, if they're going to give penalties for that, you know, it was a complete accident. He slips, I think, Enzo, and then his foot does catch. I think it was Anthony, but it was totally accidental. I mean, it was a joke of a decision.
The ball
so I'm
was
actually
gone
happy.
the ball was gone before he stepped on his foot. It
Yeah,
wasn't like he was going for the ball and he also stepped on his foot at the right time, at the same time. But the ball was gone. He's already made his pass.
yeah. It wasn't malicious at all. I don't know if the pitch was watery, if it was raining, or it just there wasn't any intent. You can't give a penalty for that. I don't think even Anthony was even appealing for it. It was like half appealing. They won it. No Man United players were expecting to get it. Crazy decision. But yeah, something wasn't right in the midfield for Chelsea. Just Man United were dominating a lot of the possession and causing you a lot of problems through the middle. That's what I remember. And then obviously McTominay scored both goals. It just wasn't your best performance, really. The energy, you weren't winning enough duels. I like Palmer's goal. I know just before Palmer scored, Jackson missed a very easy chance. I remember as well. Literally just got. I can't remember who played him in, but it was just from 5-7 yards, and just needed a cool, calm placement,
I think
place finish,
I
and
think it was Sterling who gave him that pass from the right hand side, and
Is it the one
okay,
that was cross
Jackson was
box?
supposed to hit it twice. Steven and I
yeah,
even talk about it, but he had the first touch, the second touch, then goalkeeper got close to him and he couldn't do anything anymore.
yeah. It's that first touch that killed him. Like he needed to take it first time, and that's where you look for a very calm, placed finish. And I don't know, he just seemed very indecisive. But Palmer, on the other hand, brilliant finish. Those are not easy. Across goal, placed it, and keeper stood no chance. But then I don't know, the winner. It's just like simple cross. You got to stop the cross coming in, and then there was like four. I remember there was like 3 or 4 Man United players queuing up the far post to head that. Where was the Chelsea defense? It's too easy.
Holidays.
Yeah, too easy. And Man United are not a good team this season. They've been beaten convincingly by a lot of lesser teams than Chelsea. So it's frustrating, I think, performance. I didn't see enough from Chelsea to think that they deserved to get the 3 points. Probably a draw would have been fair, but I didn't see enough for
You
them
know,
to win it.
Ryan, you've said all this. You know what I've witnessed now? This is what I'm seeing. It's not about the tactics. It's about who is willing to win a football game. That is what I'm seeing now. Look at Everton. Just won a game against Newcastle United. Look at what's the Aston Villa. Won 1-0 against Manchester City. Arguably the best team in the world.
To be fair, I mentioned in the preview yesterday, yesterday or the day before, I don't know which one of the sort of previews it was. When it comes to Aston Villa, they were 14 home Premier League games unbeaten. 15 now.
What does it come to?
The
Manager.
I think.
Manager step your foot down and says no one comes here and win. That's what Jose Mourinho did as the first time he came to the football club. He made that place a very difficult place.
Bro, we've not had it in about 5 years now, at least.
So a manager like Mauricio Pochettino, who knows he has a long-term project, first thing he has to start that philosophy. He has to put it in the player's mind that we are Chelsea and that is what we play for. This place, nobody comes here and win. Jurgen Klopp does that. And that's the kind of mentality push in the player's head. Besides the football.
I watched the Man City Villa game yesterday, and it was abundantly clear that Aston Villa were very, very confident. Like Stephen mentioned, 14 wins in a row at home, and they're just well drilled. Every Aston Villa player was winning their duels. You hardly ever see that against Man City. Douglas Luiz, Tielemans, Bailey, Watkins was electric up front. They're just a team sky high, full of confidence at home. And it's that was no fluke, that result.
Absolutely.
I think that'll come with us. I do think we'll get our sort of home games sorted out so that we do get a nice sort of run at home and all that. But it comes back to what I was saying before, with so many players in this team being young,
Yeah.
You get the inconsistencies, and obviously a lot of the players are new, so they're still learning each other and how each other play as well. So it's difficult, but if we can get a couple more experienced players to come in, like your Nkunkus and players like that, get a couple more of them in. This is what I'm saying. Like, that's what we need. We need a couple more experienced players who can come in, and not even if they're not players that are locked in starters, like there's someone that can come off the bench and bring that solidity to the team, right? That when you're struggling, they can come in, they can bring a bit of leadership, bit of experience, and put the team on their back. That's what we need in this team. And when you've got young players, inexperienced players, you don't have that. That's where United have been this season, right? They've not performed great, but they've got that experience where it takes one moment, one player to pop up, no matter how bad they've been, and they can steal the 3 points. This is what they've been doing all season. And it ain't gonna last because
But Steven,
your luck
if
runs
you
out. But that's what they've got that we don't have, is they've got those one or two players with experience that can take that moment.
Steven, but if throughout the game, we all know that Eric Ten Hag and his team is under pressure. They have to make a statement. There's so many news going on coming from Manchester United. So the only way they can get away or they can shut the media out was to win the game against Chelsea. Mauricio Pochettino should know that. He should knew that this is what Manchester United were going to do. So why?
But he
Why
can't
do you start
focus
the
on
game?
the media around United, because if you do that, then that's going to cause issues as well, because then you overthink things. Do you remember before the Champions League final, right, against Man City?
Yeah.
Pep came out, he goes, they do this, and then he overthinks it, right? If Poch had looked at all the media around United, oh, he's lost 50% of the dressing room and all that, yeah?
Mhm.
He'll overthink it, and then you've got problems. So he probably didn't pay any mind to that at all, because if you do, you're in trouble.
Absolutely. All right, Steven, take the two up there, the Makeem and the Metal Face, and I'll take care of DJ Sam.
So what ones? Both of DJ's ones?
No, I think there's two up there before DJs. So one from Makeem, this one's from Makeem, then Metal Face Doom.
So Mackin says the last 3 or 4 managers have completely different styles with other teams, but play the same style when managing Chelsea. No, not really. Metal Face, I'm going to ignore one of those words in there. Our first choice striker couldn't score. I'm ignoring that. I'm not reading that because that's something that shouldn't be said on the platform.
All right, so
do you get what it is, though?
I don't. That is why I straight out to you to take care of it.
Let's not go there. That's something that should be mentioned off stream.
Okay.
I didn't see the one beginning with B. I'd seen like the last bit where the name is, and I wasn't gonna read that. And then I got to that, I was like, yeah, no. DJ says, good evening, me and the panel. Great seeing you streaming at this time. What a disaster yesterday. Poch team selection was wrong. We got played off the park. The worst United team I've ever known. Then after the match, he gives his worst post-match, saying the team gave everything. Oh my God, what was he watching? I've just put those 3 together from DJ because I know they're all part of the same thing.
Yeah.
But Metal Face said, I don't get how you spend 1 billion on a team and your bench is weak, they're inconsistent and sit 10th. Okay. Now, this is where I've got to explain it, and this is where it gets really irritating.
Yeah, when you're done, then Ryan will come in, and if he helps react
what
to
you're
the
doing
comments.
there is what the media do. Chelsea spent 1 billion. Okay, we didn't, because that's factoring add-ons and all that stuff, yeah? Stuff that's not guaranteed to be paid. Then, on top of that, you've got to factor in how much we've sold players for as well. So you're looking at more net spend. By saying 1 billion, you're looking at a gross spend that includes the add-ons. The add-ons are not guaranteed to be paid. So what we actually have to do, and I don't have the energy to look through this in my day because we've done so many signings and it's just not worth me looking through and trying to figure it out. You look at what's the guaranteed fee, yeah?
Mhm.
So the money that you know is getting paid. So Mudryk, I think, is 62 million with 26 million in add-ons, right? So 62 million we have to pay. The other 26 million, which would take it to 88 million, are for things like if we win, I don't know, a Champions League, if he wins a Ballon d'Or. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I heard about a Ballon d'Or clause in there. Hence, I said Ballon d'Or. But that's what I'm saying. They're not guaranteed things, but they're things like the media would include when they go, oh, Chelsea spent 80 odd million on Mudryk. Like, no, we didn't. Like, we can't be given into what the media are saying. We've got to make clear that people know that it wasn't $1 billion. Then you've got to take into what we sold players for as well. Right? Because if we're saying 1 billion, okay, what? So we didn't sell players? That's like going into a shop here and then there's a discount, right? You don't go, oh, I paid this. You take into account what you paid after the money got taken off for the sale. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Stephen G. Ryan, any reaction to any of the comments out there? Metaface said, was I lying though?
Also, we did have a hella load of injuries, and that's why the bench was so many academy players. That's the other bit about the bench being weak.
Okay. Thank you. Ryan, do you want to react to any of the comments, or we want to go to the player? The player Robert Sanchez and his performance so far. I keep asking myself, is it a time for Chelsea to go into the January transfer market and replace his goalkeeper, or should we give chance to the substitute goalkeeper, which is a second goalkeeper, Petrovic, Mr. Ryan? From what you've read so far, or any highlights you've watched regarding?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand sections of the fan base are not happy with Sanchez. He hasn't really done well so far, but I'm a big believer in giving players time, giving them a chance to settle down, build confidence. He's not a terrible goalkeeper. He's just low in confidence, and he is making technical errors. But he also needs a strong defense in front of him, so he's not totally exposed and having too many chances. He's having to save game after game after game. But you can't forget, Chelsea almost drew yesterday. Brozier hit the post, wasn't it, towards the end? So it might have not even been a disaster. Despite how bad you might think you played, you almost drew the game. But yeah, it's overall, it was a disappointing game, and definitely Chelsea didn't do enough to win it. That's for sure. But I saw DJ Sav said about the team selection. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if other players were on that pitch, would Chelsea have won that game. I'm doubting it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ryan over there. Great Liverpool fan, and as a neutral person, he's a Liverpool fan, so he can give us different perspective on how we see the Chelsea Football Club, or we see the Blues. DJ Sav said, Makim, his question, this one is comment to Makim, says, big up, May, let us not make this stream about your dislike towards Enzo, bro, because the whole team was shocking yesterday. The whole team was really, really shocking yesterday. But my player, when we did our combined 11, I replaced McTominay over. I selected McTominay over Enzo Fernandez. I put Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. But see who turned up yesterday? It was McTominay. Sorry, it was McTominay. Metal Face Doom said, yes, we sold all of our experienced players. And,
the selling of the players that we did isn't the issue. We got rid of players that had to go, right? Think about it. If this was last season, we'll be getting leaks about there's no trust in the manager and all this stuff. We got rid of players who were toxic. We got rid of the ZX and players like that, yeah, who were supposedly the toxic ones in the group. That's not the issue. The issue is we haven't bought enough experience to replace that experience we've let go. it isn't the players we've let go that's the issue. It's we haven't replaced those players with other experience.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. My brother Steven said, don't buy keeper in January. What harm will it be? Will it be giving Petrovic a chance to a chance? He surely can't be worse than Sanchez has been. Okay, we'll look at it. We'll look into that. I think Steven. I mean, Ryan also said he believes in giving these players chance. Now, if you guys look at the poll is right there. I think the last one was giving him a chance and make so he can be better. But then, the team is not in a hurry to go anywhere. And if you guys have been on Twitter lately, you can see there was a tweet coming from club legend Pat Nevin, whom said last season, I thought that buying all these youngster was risky and strategy. There is very since there's been very little Premier League experience there, and I thought that the team wouldn't be good for at least 2 seasons. I still stick to my he still stick to what he said. I have served as the chief executive before, and if I was a Chelsea, it was okay. If I was a Chelsea, I wouldn't expect this team to get into the top four this season. Instead, I would expect the team to go out, learn and develop and work ethic. Okay, so that's what Pat Nevin tweeted today. We all know he works with Chelsea Football Club for quite a long time, and at
Not
this
anymore.
moment, he's not there. He's not there at this moment. Makeem, you want to try and get yourself back again? It says device not detected. It does that sometimes. So try again, Makeem.
I'm just reading Metal Face's comment there about
Okay.
some of the players we let go. Kante, injury prone. We had to let him go. Kova was becoming less reliable, less available as well. Mount, best not to get into that. Havertz, please tell me you're not serious when you say Havertz. The guy done one thing for us, and apart from that, he did nothing.
Yeah,
I'm
the
not
guy
letting you have Havertz in there.
he's been stinking the place out at Arsenal as well up until the last few games.
Yeah, but this is what happens though. He has 2-3 games where he looks good. He'll get a goal or two, get an assist here and there, and then he goes missing again for the rest of the season.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we're used to this. Like you've seen it as a Liverpool fan when you've seen Chelsea. Me being a Chelsea fan and season ticket holder, I've seen it a lot more. Like I know where this is going. I've been there. I've
Okay.
experienced it.
Let me introduce our brother Makeem is on the floor. But before I get to Makeem, let me read his 3 comments coming from DJ Sav. He said, I think the mistake our fans are making now is putting all our eggs in one basket. With Nkuku coming back from injury, the poor guy will be walking into a dysfunctional team and expect to perform. Also, he went ahead and said, so let's lay off the pressure of Nkunku, and he said, sorry on Nkunku.
It's not just him though. Like there is other players coming back, but he's like the big one. Like
Everyone
if we're
wants to
looking for
see.
someone who can finish chances, once he's up and running, he's that guy.
Okay. Steven said, if you're looking for the guy that can finish those chances that Sterling creates, that Jackson cannot finish them, and Kuku will be the guy to finish them. Makeem, big brother, welcome back again. What's your thoughts on Chelsea's shambolic performance yesterday?
I think from the last live that you had,
Yeah.
I think we have to admit we was you were spot on about McTominay.
I do. We were both
You
on
was,
the same point on McTominay, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. At this point, they've outperformed the team through the midfield when their midfield wasn't even good themselves.
Yeah.
Their midfield was wide open, but our midfield would even do anything through that. And I'm not. If I would have to address something here, I don't hate Enzo. Okay, I like the profile of Enzo. I'm a Chelsea fan before I'm an Enzo fan, and I'm a football fan. So I will look at this very objectively from a different lens. Enzo has been a weak link in that midfield to the point where yesterday's performance, it could make the Gallagher fans think that Gallagher was a missing link for yesterday because of how bad Enzo can fit into that central area of the midfield. Casado needs help. Enzo's not doing that. The guy jogs back every time he needs to have a tackle or needs to be helping the defenders. You don't need that from your team. What you need progression. Enzo's not progressive enough for us. This is why I agree with Stephen when he said that we got rid of players, but we never replaced them first. We thought Enzo would be an equivalent to Jorginho, and that's not very fair on Enzo. We didn't look at the player, we looked at the World Cup. And it's not fair on him, but realistically, he might be a very world class talent, but he's not for Chelsea. For Chelsea, he's not that. And he has a long way to go. And I'm only saying this because this player has been prioritized and he plays alongside important players like Gallagher, homegrown talent. So you have to be very good to be at that position. There's no hate on Enzo, but there's a lot of improvement that needs to be done. And if you don't rotate the teams, yeah, you're gonna get more people that are gonna be pointing out Gallagher and Enzo and say how bad they are. Because we're buying other players that are like 60 million and they're not even playing.
Right.
So if they're not playing to help the midfield, we're not ever really gonna get the best out of Enzo or Gallagher. And this is a weak point in the team because the defense is not bad; it's quite solid. So that I'll
What
leave it there for now. I don't know.
Why do you think that no one is not cautioning the blame on Mauricio Pochettino? Everyone is gone quiet on him. His performance hasn't been that good since he's the manager, but it's all about the players who spend 1 billion, 2 billion. It's just the players, but no one is saying nothing about Mauricio Pochettino. And for me, I'm not saying Poch is a bad manager. I don't think he's a winner. You get what I'm saying? He's a guy that can galvanize young players to a certain level. But if we have seen what Chelsea is all made of in the past, do we think that Poch is the right guy? And if so, have we seen it from how many 14 games now in the Premier League? Have we seen it?
Mm. The thing is, for me, he's capable. Potter was capable. This is what I'm saying about the last 3, 4 management styles, other places. But when it comes to Chelsea, they suddenly have the same style, which is passing backwards and slowly. You know, so I'm thinking to myself, if they have tactics here when they go to other clubs, because Potter at Brighton was very progressive and he was aggressive as well. He was not. So I'm thinking to myself here, since the early days of Tuchel, our pressing and the way we've been applying
Yeah.
how we attack as a team has not been. We have not kept up with the Premier League. We've kind of been stagnant for a while. So when we lose like this, I'm not really surprised because the style of play has not. Because these are not bad managers. Potter's not. Um, Pochettino's not a bad manager, but it seems like they have certain orders that they have to keep up. That's not helping. If it's a thing where you're gonna have to, if it's a thing where you're gonna have to go, then you're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to get a different man that can play under gritty solutions, you know.
someone rough, you know, someone that can work with less, you know. In my mind, I have Diego Simeone, but it might be different for everybody else.
Makim, are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Makim, for jumping on and giving us your opinion on how you saw the game. Ryan, is there any more you want to add to it, Mr. Ryan? Before we go to the next topic, the Premier League, the top four is widely open. Aston Villa are very, very close, right underneath Manchester City, and Arsenal are also there. Is it a time for someone else to take the Premier League by storm? Someone else in time for Arsenal or Liverpool to win the Premier League, and
Liverpool.
Liverpool to win the
Yes,
Premier League. Okay, I know
you
Ryan.
finally said it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Ryan.
clip that.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll be talking about the top four widely open, and still Chelsea find themselves in that 10th position. So yeah, that's what we'll be talking next. We've discussed Mauricio Pochettino and his Chelsea team still on the 10th place. They've been there for months. Oh my goodness, man, they can't go up, they can't go down. They're married to that 10th place. A stinker of a goalkeeper right now, who is very, very low in confidence, Mr. Sanchez. Something needs to be done. A chance have to be given to Petrovic, and we see what he can also do. Arguably, a lot of people said he's a very good goalkeeper, but we have to see more something from him. Mauricio Pochettino has to give that guy a chance. So next, top four, widely open. We'll talk about that. Yes, guys, welcome back to Football Minutes Live on Blueclouds Media. Makim is in the house, Mr. Ryan is in the house, and also my co-host of the year, Stephen G, is also in the house. So this comment is coming from DJ Saf. He said, DJ Saf said, I think Lavia coming back into the team when he is up and running. Enzo will be better. It is not Enzo or Casado's fault that the club overspent on both players. They are class and will improve. Yes, Pat Nevin said these players will get better, but it will take about 2 seasons for them to get the ground running and understand what English Premier League is all about. Let's see as we move on. Steven, are you there? I think Steven is not ready yet, but let's look at the table, what the table is looking like right now. I'll share that screen in a second. Arsenal are on top, Liverpool right there. Aston Villa has moved to the 3rd position with 32 points. Liverpool 34, Arsenal 36, not far off. Unai Emery, Mr. Good Evening, is doing a very, very good job over there. Manchester City back-to-back win and lose. They have 30 points sitting on the 4th position with Tottenham Hotspur, Mrs. and Mr. Spezzy again losing to West Ham United, London Derby. So they are 27 on 15, 27 and on the 5th position in the Premier League. Manchester City, Manchester United right there, Newcastle, Brighton, West Ham United, then Chelsea on the 10th place. Mr. Ryan, Liverpool. Do you think you guys can, close the gap? As we all know, Arsenal will be going to Everton. They will be going to Aston Villa. Villa plays, and that they can lose a point from there. And it will be the time for Jurgen Klopp and his boys, the other Red Devils, to move up. Mr. Ryan, what's your thoughts on that?
I hope so. Yeah, if Arsenal and Villa can drop points if they draw to each other, or Aston Villa manage to beat Arsenal, then yeah, the door opens and we can seize the opportunity and take the top spot. I see a lot of parallels between Arsenal and Liverpool. Neither of them are playing that well, but they're getting results and they're keeping clean sheets. Getting results and not playing well, that's the hallmark of champions. So we've seen it with Man City, we've seen it, with Chelsea, under Ancelotti, under Mourinho, under Conte. Man United under Fergie. Not playing well, but getting the 3 points. That is definitely a sign of champions. Liverpool, I don't think we played very well against Sheffield United. I've got to be honest. I think both goals were controversial. Both goals there were fouls in the lead up to both goals. Van Dijk and then also Soboslai. On another day, VAR could have intervened. They were kind of 50-50 decisions. Both went our way. And we got the 3 points, so it's kind of onwards to the next game, really. The good thing is we're keeping clean sheets this season, and we're defending well. I know Matip's unfortunately got the ACL injury and he's out, but we have Konate, we have Gomez.
Season, right?
Yeah, he's out for the rest of the season. Van Dijk has managed to, I don't want to jinx it, but from what I'm seeing, he's managed to kind of regain confidence, and he's defending better, and he's more of a leader now. So I hope he can keep it up, because he's key for our, title ambitions. He needs to keep defending well, and we've got Robertson coming back in maybe January, February time. So things are looking good. I'm not gonna, say we're gonna definitely win the league, but I think we can definitely build a title challenge.
I mean, you put yourself out there. Should in case someone should sleep, then you take advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Man City draw really gave me a lot of belief, because the first half we were battered, but in the second half we fought back and we managed to contest the midfield battle, and then I think we got the deserved equaliser from Trent. And Trent is just one of the best players in attacking wise in the Premier League right now. He's just
Rub it in.
I know.
That's why he said attacking wise.
Attacking. Yeah.
Attacking wise.
I caveated
he
it,
didn't
right?
put himself there.
I didn't
for
say all round.
A debate or an argument. So he
No.
said attacking wise.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Ryan.
No, so listen, he's just a joy to watch in this form. He can just see the pass. He's got so much creativity. He can, long balls, through balls. He's just in that kind of form right now, almost like a visionary. So I'm very happy with the way he's playing.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ryan, for taking us through Liverpool. They are second on the second position with 24 points. Mr. McKean, take us through your London rivals, Arsenal. Arsenal are there. They made a lot of noise last season, and this season too, sitting on top of the Premier League. Do you think they're gonna slip, or do you think it's time for Arsene Wenger and his boys to win the trophy this time?
Tactically, they can, and they have for the last 2 seasons. But the only thing that's been missing with them, and still is kind of missing with them, is that aggression that Liverpool has. That pure aggression through the pierce through the middle. They don't have that. Even though they figured out they're like mini peps, but they still are struggling with the same thing. So they can do it, but it's gonna have to take courage. It's gonna have to take courage, and they're gonna have to have a tougher inner belly. And I think Liverpool has that. So I think it's gonna be till the very end. Then maybe Liverpool's just gonna take them by a few points, just because of the grit.
Okay. I mean, last season they were. I mean, the only reason why they couldn't win the Premier League was the lack of squad depth, and which they've done that this time. They had 2 strong goalkeepers, which is also creating problems with David Raya making lots of mistakes. So now there's so much pressure on David Raya, and there's so much pressure on Ramsdale on the bench. So Arteta cannot change any of these goalkeepers because David Raya is making a lot of mistakes. If he change and bring in Sanchez right now, there will be a lot of questions coming from the media in regards to if he did made a mistake bringing in David Raya and dropping Ramsdale to the bench. So I'll say that last season reason why they couldn't win it was the squad depth, and also this time they have replaced lots of they have brought in a lot of quality players from from the Premier League. You could talk about this Belgium player from Brighton, which is what's his name again? I can't remember his name right now. Trafford, yeah, Trafford. Trafford is one of them. It gives them a lot of chances. He came on against Chelsea and then got them the equalizer. So I think that Trafford inclusion this season has helped Arsenal a lot. But let's see if they can win it. Steven, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're talking about Arsenal Football Club. But what's your thoughts on Arsenal's position right now? They are on top of the Premier League. They've been there for quite some time now. Do you think that this season Arteta and the Arsene Wenger boys will win it?
Same as last year. They're there around this time of year and they'll drop off at the back end of the year because that's what they do. That's the simplest way of putting it. On the goalkeeper thing, I made my point clear on that the other day when I said about the whole John Madden thing when he was talking about quarterbacks. It's the same for goalkeepers. You have two quarterbacks, you have none. You got two goalkeepers, you have none. Two goalkeepers who are arguably number ones. You got to find a way to keep them happy, and there's not any way to feasibly do that. Because what you got to do? Constantly rotate them every game? Then you got a problem there because one's unhappy because they might be playing brilliantly one game and then what? You drop them to rotate the next game? Like, there's no way around it. I think as soon as they got Raya, I think it was obvious that the likelihood was they were going to try and play him as the number one because they've got the option there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was the right decision. You can't have two goalkeepers who could arguably be seen as potential number ones because somebody is going to be unhappy with the situation because they're not playing when they feel like they deserve it. Although Raya has had a few howlers, so it'd be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of games, whether Ramsdale's put back in or not.
Okay. Thank you very much, Stephen G. Makeem and Ryan, do you guys have any comments regarding Ramsdale's situation with Arsenal and also Raya performance so
Yeah,
far before we move on?
Steven,
Mhm.
Steven, would you take Ramsdale in Chelsea?
No. I said this on Discord to someone, right? I said
Why, Stephen? Why?
this is what I was getting into.
Wow,
My issue is,
crazy.
people will go,
Forget
oh, it's better
about
than what we got,
rivalry.
right?
Just look at
People will
the
go, it's better
talent.
than what we got, yeah? But if we just go, it's better than what we got, what, in 12 months' time we go, oh, let's sign this keeper because he's better than Ramsdale, better than what we got. It's
Well,
a
that's too
constant
much.
cycle. We can't keep doing this whole better than what we got thing. We got to level up multiple levels. You can't just go better than what we got. We got to go for the best. If we don't go for the best, because that's what this team needs now. We need experience and we need the players that are in like top few position, top three, top four, top five, whatever you want to class as like great level of their position. That's
yeah.
what we need. And if we're
The other
just going,
thing,
let's take what's better than what we've got, you're spending on that position every 6 to 12 months and it's a constant cycle and you never get to the level you should be at.
I agree with Stephen Nee, and I don't think there's a plethora of like world-class goalkeepers out there. Just generally speaking, I think you're better off getting a good goalkeeper and developing him into a great one or a world-class one.
But what do you want? Yeah, the best, at least the best to challenge to get a top Premier League place. Because I see this as the same way I see what's his name, Ivan Toney in the Osimhen argument. I'd rather Ivan Toney for the sake of the Premier League because he knows how to handle the Premier League and he's proven, you know. And I know he can handle the top flight football. Ramsdale, he's been in top two. He can handle it in the Premier League with over quite a compatible team, Arsenal. You get what I'm saying? If he ended up number two and we ended up 12th last season, would you want the best of the Premier League first? Confirm the place, and then you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're trying to say, but Steven is also trying to say, I think it's not about rivalry, but he's thinking.
No, it's nothing to do with rivalry. Like,
yeah,
I don't care that it's Ramsdale. I just don't want us to be in a constant cycle of it's better than what we've got, so let's go for it. Because that's where you get issues. Same thing goes for any other position, by the way. Say we have, I don't know, say we go, oh, this guy's better than Jackson, let's get him. And that's what people have been doing with the whole goalkeeper thing, right? I've seen people say stuff like, let's get Ramsdale because he's better than what we've got. I've seen someone's actually said to me, word for word, let's get him because he's better than what we've got. And that's why I'm constantly making that point of, that's the issue. We can't go, it's better than what we got. We've got to go, we need the goalkeepers who are around great level already, because that's how you level up.
So him finishing second place to City last season, that tight, doesn't mean anything to you. Like Ramsdale is a proven top class football last season. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, would you want people that will try to keep you up, at least in the top 3, top 4, have more of a probability of having those players most likely get you to that space, other than, do you get what I'm saying? Working with crumbs.
I get what you're saying, right? But my whole thing is, pretty much anyone I've spoken to who's gone, get Ramsdale, they can't give me a specific reason. They literally just say, better than what we've got. And I've heard that from, I don't even know, probably double-digit number of people. They can't give me anything specific other than he's better than what we got. That's my issue. It's the argument of better than what we got.
What's an example?
If someone can say to me,
so here's an example.
This is why we need him, and give me some sort of proof to it, I'll hold my hands up, fair enough. But I've not had a single person say that to me yet. That's my issue.
Yeah, give me an example though of what, or like, give me a name of like, who do you think?
But I've been looking at
who's worthy,
like performances as well as numbers for Dortmund one, Kobel, right? Across Champions League and the league, he's consistent, right? And he's consistently right up there, right? When you look at his performances, both visually and by numbers, he is a very good keeper, right? I think, if I remember rightly, the last 3 years he's been at save percentages around 85, sort of mid-80 percentage across both Europe and league, I think. Like, that's what I mean. Like, if I've seen the person perform, but I also can see the numbers to back it up, because I'm not specific to just numbers, right? I want to see it with my own eyes, right? I'll hold my hands up. Ramsdale, I've seen he's had good performances. I've seen he's had great performances. But the argument I always get is he's better than what we got.
Ramsdale last season, he did have some very good performances. I remember at Anfield, he made an unbelievable save. I think Salah.
At the very end of the last
top
season.
corner. Yeah, very end of last season where we drew. Amazing save, probably save of the season. But then at the Etihad, he made some terrible mistakes. At least 2 of the Man City goals could have been prevented. And I think Arteta just reached the point. I think end of the season, he had, just recapped over the season was like, we can level up, and he thinks Rye's a better goalkeeper. And then you look at the England situation as well. He's not the number one for England. Pope is.
But then Pickford's arguably not deserving
Well,
the number one.
Pickford as well. Yeah.
Guys, let's not forget this. That Ramsdale's father went to a radio station where he let the cat out of the basket. He said his son have difficulties concentrating for 90 minutes.
I remember this.
So if we all know the truth now, who is going to make
Ramsdale himself say it, not his dad?
Yeah.
I think Aaron Ramsdale said it specifically himself. I don't think it was his dad
also
which is actually worse. Because I think I saw the quote as, I struggled to concentrate for 90 minutes, so I'll do this and then I'll be back focused again. And like, it's like, bro, you can't be going into interviews and stuff and admitting stuff like
and
that.
Saying
because that's
that.
how you get into the situation where you're dropped.
So for one or the other, Arteta believed that.
Oh, they're not always concentrating. Long shot. See you later.
Yeah. He doesn't concentrate. He can't concentrate for 90 minutes. So how can he be my number one? So that's which we're still going to continue talking about that. Let me read these few comments that we have here. Big up to my big brother, Alpha in the building. Alpha said, big up Blueclouds and the panel. Fantastic stream. Keep it up. Keep it cooking. Thank you very much. I've tried. I've been cooking this for almost about 3 years now. It's getting ready to be done for me to save the meal. Very soon. Don't worry, Alpha. Once the food is done, I'll drop yours to you wherever you are. EMS or maybe, with UPS will bring it to you. Don't worry, brother. KLC said Ramsdale is good enough from KLC, my big brother. KLC said the guy speaking in is speaking fact. I think that was the time that McKean is talking about Ramsdale situation, but I think that McKean has changed his mind right now regarding what I just said, the concentration problem from Ramsdale. McKean, do you still insist that Ramsdale should move to Chelsea, having concentration issues?
That's a wild fact. Coming out, just imagine that you finish second in the Premier League and you got your dad coming out like raw, this guy, you can't concentrate for 90 minutes. That's crazy, man. But you know what? It gives me, because I worked with kids before, and with autism and all sorts and SEN, and a lot of those kids here, when they can't concentrate for 90 minutes, you know what that means? That means they are how do I say it? They are over reactive, as if like they're overperforming. If they can overperform for like someone like him, they're high performing because of the concentration level. So once he taps into that, it can go on for like at least 60 minutes or 70 minutes, but he'll be able to take so much pressure. You'll be able to take in so much pressure. That's that you want a guy like that. You want to go to war with a guy like that because that's how he keeps engaged. I work with kids like that, and those kids, they work good under high intense pressure. And I think to myself sometimes, how do you even concentrate? How do you even think doing that? They're like, oh no, I feel comfortable, and it's just like to them it's simpler. So someone like him, I understand why he struggles recently because of that. It's not as pressured because teams now are scared of Arsenal compared to it was last year. So they're backing off a bit. And they're trying to find new ways to come at him. He's not under constant pressure like he was. So I get it. It makes sense. And I got a new respect for him, to be honest. Okay. I got a new respect for him.
All right, so
someone like that can be very vocal in the back.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Makeem. Ben Jacob just tweeted this some few minutes ago. He says, Spurs have dropped more points into, I think, 16 points from winning position this season than any other team in Europe top 5 leagues. They have led in each of their last 5 games, losing 4 and drawing with Manchester City. Spursy. Spezzy. I can't wait. Oh man, I'm missing it. I'm missing my Top Sport program today. Both Arsenal and both Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. Oh my goodness, things are not going well for them. I know Jamie O'Hara yesterday. He was like, "Has anyone seen, Jason Kande?" When Jason Kande was doing a Chelsea TV show. So yeah. Let me see what Jason Kande is going to say about Jamie O'Hara. I'm missing the show, but no problem.
Bro, you know, I will send that clip when we get it of Jason Cundy just doing this. Has anyone seen?
Has anyone seen? Postecoglou, Humane Song. Oh, read it on and on and on and on. Oh my goodness, Jason Kande. All right, so guys, it's been a wonderful stream today. Big up to you, my brother Makeem. I think Makeem is kind of free at this time, but during my earlier time that I stream, he's kind of very busy, either at work or something, I'm sure. But yeah, big up to Mr. Ryan. Ryan,
apparently
what's up?
Son got injured tonight, by the way.
Do what?
Apparently Son went off injured tonight.
Oh God.
Well, that's good. Another one, Spurs.
That's another injury for Spurs.
Jesus Christ.
They've never been the same since us, They've never been the same. We have ruined their season.
We've broken Tottenham.
Chelsea broke Tottenham, yeah.
We have broken Tottenham.
Yeah, let's see who is in the house. A Manchester United fan is in the house, spamming the channel. He's here for one reason. He's here to mock Chelsea. Scholar United, where have you been over the years? Yesterday game showed why Chelsea are mid-table and why United won't get top 4.
You can't even say that when all season you've been performing poor.
But he says why United won't get top 4. He says why United won't get a top 4. They have to wait for Chelsea to come there and then perform. But they were very poor. United were very poor. If Chelsea were clinical, although they did not perform very well,
who's the worst team?
Those chances,
no joke.
Yeah, Chelsea had some good chances. They were supposed to score. They couldn't. And that penalty, to be honest with you, Makeem, what do you make of that penalty? Ryan gave me his perspective on that penalty. Makeem, was that a penalty? Should that be a penalty?
Well, at least it got saved.
To be honest.
Put your Chelsea bias aside.
Yeah.
Put that aside.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Was that a penalty?
Well, it was, It was a penalty.
What?
Yeah.
It was after the ball was kicked. The ball wasn't close to him when he stepped on his foot. He stepped on his foot. He did not kick him. There was no intent.
Yeah, but you have to understand, like, for him, the contact, and it doesn't even take many contacts for them to call a penalty nowadays. In such a high-profile game, he should have known better. Because it was a schoolboy error. Really?
No, I think he slipped.
And
then they traded. The leg went on his foot. You get what I'm saying? The leg he slipped. So when he's moving, wherever the leg lands is where it lands. It's just like the Gusto's red card. You get what I'm saying? The Gusto's red card, the same thing. The the leg.
Enzo. The thing is, he would get away with that in a Sunday League football match. But in the high stakes like this, you have to be much more aware defensively in order not to be seen on top of the player's foot, at least.
Makeem, on-field decision.
His foot on the player.
On-field decision, it wasn't penalty. On-field, the referee did not take that as a penalty. But VAR, which we all want VAR to be in our football game, ruled that as a penalty. Referee did not see that as a penalty, and it was right there, like 5 would I say 5 feet or 5 inches or whatever away from the incident. That's
what makes it a penalty. That's what makes it a penalty.
They've got to stop showing a still image and then showing it in slow motion. That's the issue.
That's the issue. It's the slow motion, yeah.
let's show a still image and then let's show it in slow motion.
Makes it look a lot
you
worse
store
than
it
it
in
is.
real time. You show it in real time. If they can't decide, they should do it. That if they can't decide after a certain period of time, okay, it's not clear and obvious. You haven't decided. Carry on. Because then it speeds up the
it
game
becomes
because of they have
but
to
then
see it in real
it
time.
doesn't become about that anymore.
Huh?
Because but then it becomes a thing where, oh, it's a human decision versus an actual, like, rigid process, no nonsense, cut, dry. You get what I'm saying? So out of the
No, but
two,
the
yeah,
issue
you have
is,
to,
yeah, you can't
because
show a
that's what
still image and
VAR
then
is.
slow motion. That's going to make it look worse.
All right. Big up to Scala United.
Slow motion doesn't make it worse, but he's still late on it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's a thing. It's a thing where, like, if he pulled out, I'm sure this is a thing where you pull out because you're so late towards it, and the players look for any excuse to go down. Defensively, you have to. It's a schoolboy error, and it was well deserved. To be very honest, I hate to admit it.
Okay. I was gonna read it, but I guess the man himself is on the show here. Scala United himself, Man United
I've
fan.
got a
He
hop
said,
off anyway.
"All right." He said, "Bruno
Right.
Amrabat, McTominay. Watch how we get slapped at Anfield with that midfield." So, Scala. I think Scala came on. All right, Scala is gone. So yeah, I can't wait to see that game. Bruno, Amrabat, and McTominay in the midfield. Ryan, you're on against these guys again. Manchester United.
Oh,
They're
come
coming
on,
home.
man.
They're coming
Nah,
home.
we're gonna slap them
Yeah, there you go.
at Anfield. Amrabat, McTominay, McCallantless, no chance.
Oh, Stephen G. So, I think Stephen got to hop off and do something. Stephen, thank you very much
I hope
for
you
coming
guys
on.
draw, man.
Liverpool against United. It'll be happy days for United, man. They got Scala. Scala, welcome back. Scala, what's your thoughts on the big game yesterday?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're muted. Unmute yourself. Let me unmute for you. Scala, can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
It's maybe a connection issue. Nee.
Yeah, I was trying to unmute him, but the software said he cannot unmute him.
Nee, can I ask just as a
Yeah,
final
sure, go ahead.
final point? Question for both you and Makin. Levi Colwell as a left back. Thoughts? Is he? What do you think about that? Is he not a centre back? Is he giving you Guardiola vibes? Because I know the Man City fan base are going nuts about Guardiola being played at left back, and the guy doesn't have any pace, and he's getting skinned by every winger that he's come up against recently. Is Colwell
Levi Colwell didn't
similar?
play left back. No, he didn't play left back.
I thought he
against
was
United.
left back.
No, he
I
didn't
saw
play
him on
left
the
back.
left side of the defense.
It was Cucurella who played left back
I thought Cucurella was on the right against Garnacho, and Colwell was against Anthony. Yeah, Cucurella was on the right.
Yeah. Colwell was on the
Colwell
left
on the
side.
left.
Disasi on the right. I think it was Badishir. Was it Badishir?
No, Badishir was on the bench. It was Disasi
Yeah, you're
and
playing Disasi.
yeah.
Trying to look at the lineup again. So
What do
Colwell
you
was
mean?
on the left hand side.
Yeah, what do you think about him as a left back?
I don't think he's good enough in that position. Look, Colwell himself, I don't think he's that good enough. To be honest with you, someone would say, "Wow, what is Nee saying?" I don't think he's that good enough. He's getting there. He's very young player. He made lots of mistakes, and I don't think that the left back position that he plays, he really likes it, but he's got no choice. He has to play it because the team has so many center backs, two left backs, which They are all good. So Pochettino is
But Nee, do
trying
you
to
think
make
the long
Kobe
term
happy.
plan is once Silva departs, then Colwell will move into centre back?
If that is what Pochettino is trying to do, then there's no reason for him to be playing what's his name again? Thiago Silva each and every time. Thiago Silva
Yeah.
is almost 40 years old and he plays him every game. That means that he doesn't trust the other players that he have. Chelsea, it's about time Chelsea have to start playing and forget about Thiago Silva. They have to play without Thiago. But all the time Thiago is playing and he is almost 40 years old. How much can you get from this player? And I know we don't play we're not playing Europe, but then he's not that young, and he's playing he's playing the highest level with high pacey attacking players. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what Makim
Mm.
has to say. Big up to you,
For
Blue
me,
Lounge, Mo. Yeah. Um, go ahead and I'll read this comment. Go ahead.
for me personally, I think Poch, he has his style of play, yeah. But at the moment, I feel like he's just as bad as the decisions he's been given to. Because the last three, four managers, they play different styles, but Poch's style has never been that positive. So it's a thing where like I'm thinking, is he a part? Is he becoming one with the problem, or is he a part of it, or is he the problem? What needs to change? Because this rotation thing, it doesn't make sense, because Thiago Silva, he's too old. Badiashile is so technical, he can be a DM. That's how technical the guy is. He's both footed. He can do what Thiago Silva does. Why does he not usher someone to go in to the Thiago Silva role? Even if it's that bad, yeah, why does he not get someone like Reece James to play there in a Thiago Silva role? Because now we're just now it's becoming a thing where we're bringing down the man's legacy because we can't find an alternative for him. When we
Yeah.
have X, Y, and Z of centre backs, and Levi Colwell is good enough. He's good enough. Like he's not a bad player. In fact, he can be a left centre back. Badiashile can be the central centre back. Disasi can be the right centre back. We can do this. But keeping
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva in the mix here, it makes it weird because we have Wesley Fofana coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is what Poch does as well. He did this with PSG, so I'm looking at him a bit weird as well.
Hmm.
With Thiago Motta and those guys, he did this as well.
And what about Matson? Do you think he's good
Yeah.
enough to play in a back four on the left? We never see him.
He's
I never see him play. He's always on the bench.
that's
He
his
was good in the
natural
preseason.
that's his natural position, but Poch doesn't see him as the left back player. He see him as a midfielder.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't play him on the left, but he doesn't give him the chance there.
I think
Anytime Matson
so.
comes on, he's up there playing in attacking role. All right, so Mo just shared this with me. He shared this with me. He said what was that again? No, I think all right, he shared this with me. I think I'm trying to get it. Like let me read that. It says he shared something on his community post, which was on Twitter. He said, would you take Jose Mourinho this summer as a new Chelsea manager?" And he's got lots of people. He's got 80% of the people are all saying yes, and then just 20 of them said no. I don't know. And also, regards to Hakim Ziyech, we are saying goodbye to many players today. Players that have
That's just it.
achieved great success at this club. Players that have put a smile on our faces in seasons past. I salute all of them. But for me, I want to salute Hakim Ziyech and say I think there's something that I can read out. So Hakim Ziyech is one of the players whom a lot of people are thinking that if he was still in the squad, he would have been cooking, doing better than what these players are doing. And then I have a Nini FC. I'm sure you guys might know this guy. Nini from Blue Lions TV. He says a random thought, but if Ziyech was still here, I think he had finally be cooking for us under Pochettino. So what we still know that Ziyech is still with us. Do you guys think that there's a need for Ziyech to come back? Regarding what we're seeing now,
I
so
just
many
think,
inexperienced players.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. This
and
fan
what you
base
guys
makes me
think? Let's
sick.
what you guys think
Yeah,
on Jose Mourinho first before we go to ZH.
I am
Ryan and
sickened.
Rakim. Rakim,
I am,
Mourinho, will you take him?
I am appalled.
Yeah.
I'm appalled. Sickened. How dare this fan base sink this low? We don't do exes like this. What's going on? Mourinho,
Yeah, Mourinho is a
negative
guy.
football. We don't no, man. You can't let her think that your new girl's not better than her. What the hell, man?
Fan base, man. It's
We
the
can do
fan base are
this.
talking. Look at the
We're
poll.
we're
The
better
poll is
than
right
this.
there.
We are better than this. The guy's struggling at Roma. Like, uh, we Simeone. Okay, if we're gonna play bad, yeah, let's wait out till summer if we have to for Simeone because Simeone knows to handle players like this. He's got a plan. Now it becomes a part of whether the the people upstairs want a guy that makes up his own mind because Simeone's a big man. He gets paid like 20 million, something like that a year. So are they gonna try lend some power away to a man like that can do his own thing? I doubt it. But if you want this team to progress, it's looking like you have gonna have to go in that direction
Do you
because
think Makim, Ryan? Do you think that
Mourinho is not the
it's about
answer.
time? Do you think it's about time that this Chelsea need a manager who is so strict, who can be strict on these players? Do you think that that is what Chelsea need now, Ryan and McCain?
Maybe, yeah, but I don't think Mourinho is
Sorry,
the
sorry.
right
One
person.
more, one more thing.
Mourinho's in
One
the
more thing, Ryan.
yeah.
No, one more thing,
DNA,
my bro.
DNA,
My bad, my
focusing
bad,
on the
my bro.
DNA.
Simeone plays one of the most negative football in Europe, yeah, and we are not the most positive team. We thrive in negative football. I don't think people remember in 2012 when we won the Champions League against Bayern Munich. That was not positive. Against Barca, that was not positive. Our greatest times were not positive. We
But
played
McCain, that's
negative.
positive
We
football
need
always
people that can handle
win you
negative
games.
times. No, because when we think about these people from the past year, we're forgetting
Yeah.
how negative their football was. And we need people that can handle negativity, but that are better than the guys before, because we don't want to repeat the things of before. We want to be further from before. Simeone has a tactic here that could work, but that it depends if they want to lend some power away. That's that's an issue for the board. But Mourinho is not the answer. Mourinho has ruined a lot of players. Mourinho has a lot of bad that came with him. Now we need to move on and up. We don't need to go back on ourselves to no, because he's carrying that energy wherever he went. And well, a lot of us are still recovering from that. We missed on a lot of players because of Mourinho and he's how he wants it his way. So we need a different type. We don't need the
With
same person.
flaws.
We might need
Um,
yeah, we need a different type. And Simeone looks like
mhm.
the type. Conte was the worst type.
Okay.
We don't need a Conte. We need a Simeone.
Steven. I mean Ryan.
Yeah,
You're not
he's in Chelsea's past, what he achieved for the club. He'll always be, adored and loved by the fan base, but Chelsea needs a modern manager.
okay.
Um,
Don't you think that Chelsea needs someone that understand the Chelsea DNA that can push them, that can
no,
tell them what
no,
the
I
club
don't
is
think
all
so.
about? It looks like we got too many
Gua-
new people.
I mean, Guardiola joined Man City in 2018. He didn't have a clue about the Manchester City DNA.
They have no DNA.
Um,
What DNA do they
yeah,
have? It's
exactly.
Guardiola that brought the
Lampard had
DNA to
DNA.
Manchester City.
What happened?
Look what
Frank
happened.
Lampard had DNA. What happened?
But
Come
Need,
on, man.
it's
Let's not
definitely
do
true.
this, man.
You've, I'm not gonna say Pochettino can't be a success, but you have tried the last few managers, the pragmatic, philosophical ones. Doesn't seem to be working. Maybe McKean's right. Maybe you need to try
See,
someone different.
let's do
Someone
this.
who's
Someone has a different perspective on how we think. Mo, welcome back again to Blueclouds Media.
Yo, how you guys doing?
We're doing very, very well. I'm trying to cut something across, but it looks like my panel are not taking it. What's your thought on bringing Jose Mourinho back to the bridge?
All right. To be honest, I'm in two minds on the topic. I've seen a lot of talk about it recently, especially with his contract expiring at the end of the season. So in the summer, he will be a free agent manager. So I mean, unless Roma extend, which isn't looking likely at the moment. So there's a lot of talk about him potentially replacing Pochettino if things don't improve. And to be honest, I want to get people's opinions on the matter. I wanna hear what people have to say in respect to it. So I'm glad your panelists gave their thoughts and opinions on it, and I'm just trying to build an idea because I'm actually thinking about making a video on this topic in the next couple of days. So I just wanted to know what
Yeah.
people are thinking, what people, what their position is in respect to this particular topic, and that's literally why I posted it on Twitter and also in my community tab on YouTube. So I'm just trying to build a picture. Like I said, I'm in two minds. There are positives to it. With the issue we currently have at the club, the lack of discipline. Um, the lack of personality. I mean, we thought Pochettino was going to come in. He's going to impose
Character.
his character, his personality, his charisma on the team. Not really going down that way at the moment. Maybe it's still early doors. He hasn't been here for a season yet. He's halfway. He's almost halfway through his first season at Chelsea.
Yeah.
To be honest, one other thing that people have been mentioning, and that's why I put in the chat, Chelsea DNA. Jose Mourinho will kind of bring back some of the old aspects that we fell in love with when it comes to our club, our team. So him coming back will kind of give us that link to some of the historical moments of the past. But is that enough? Is it? I mean, is he still able to produce the magic that he produced in the past? There's a lot of questions in respect to that. His style of management, his style of play, is it still relevant? Is it still going to be successful in the Premier League? So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and that's really why I'm asking the question.
Thank you very much, Mo. I do understand where you're coming from, but look, if you want Mourinho back, we've seen Mourinho the second time. How did it go for Mourinho? It didn't go well. He still won a trophy, and then something happened again. He left the football club. Lampard came the first time, he was being sacked. The second time he came back again, and he was being sacked. Do you want to see Mourinho come back again, and later on, after like 18 months? He's being shown the door against Mo.
I don't want to see any manager come to Chelsea Football Club and fail. I mean, we've had, a lot of failure, since Todd Bowley and clearly Capital took over. We've seen, failure after failure after failure. And to be honest, I think, the model that they are implementing, the strategy that they are implementing when it comes to the way they've signed players, the way they've sacked everyone at the club. There's a lot of negativity that came with the new ownership. Um, so you know, I think whoever comes in is going to have a massive task to achieve. I don't want to see Jose Mourinho fail. I don't want to see any manager who comes to Chelsea fail. Um, I think Jose Mourinho, if he does come in, there will be a bounce in the club in respect to our attitude as a fan base, our bond with the club. But that won't last if we don't get results. This is a results-based business, and
Mhm.
if Jose Mourinho isn't able to get results and to get them pretty quickly, we will see the fan base turn against him. I mean, Frank Lampard, Chelsea legend. He came in. His first season wasn't too bad. His second season wasn't so great. His second spell, yes, he was he's there for a temporary contract,
Yeah.
but you can see, people are against, they turned against Lampard, and as a manager, as a player, we still love him and respect him, but as a manager, we don't want him anywhere near the club anymore because of that situation. So I don't want to see Jose
So why
Mourinho
would
come
you want
in,
to do that to Mourinho? Sorry,
but
big
that's
man. So why would you want to do that to Mourinho?
That's okay. That's okay.
I don't yeah I don't want to do that to Mourinho, and that's the point I'm trying to articulate. I don't want to see him come in and fail. So this is the thing. I'm trying to get an understanding of what people are thinking in respect to this. If he will come in, are we setting him up for failure because of the actual structure that we currently have, because of the way the club is being run? Could anyone succeed? Under these conditions, no experience in the club, no spine in the team. There is a lot of elements missing in our current squad, and these elements are in respect to the experience factor. Todd Bowley and
I see what you're saying.
his yeah, Todd Bowley and his system. They're telling us they're building for the future, but what future are we going to have if we're going to wait 4 or 5 years for these players to actually reach their prime, reach their peak? And will they, be of the caliber that we hope they're going to be, or will they fail? I mean, we've seen a lot of football players. They come with a lot of potential, but they don't fulfill that potential, and it's a risk that we're taking. And 4 or 5 years down the line, if we're waiting for these guys to get in their prime and they become failures, then we've wasted 4 or 5 years. So it's a balancing act, and um, I don't want to see, like I said, whoever comes in fail. I want to see, if it was up to me, I would love to see Mauricio Pochettino turn things around. Maybe in the summer we get a couple of good signings, and he's able to turn it around and continue with Chelsea. I would like to see us have stability rather than continuously changing managers as we did in the past. But this whole Jose Mourinho question is being asked,
Mhm.
and I just want to know what people are thinking about it.
Right, right. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That we
So,
all have an
so,
idea of what if the fans want him back. Someone was saying anything. Makim, were you saying something?
so what I've got, yeah, what you said, yeah,
Yeah.
is that you want a ruler again, because Mourinho was a ruler.
Yeah, Mourinho was a. I use a different word. I used the word dictator. He was a dictator. He
So
he
you want,
was
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
he was
like that
in charge of
definition. Yeah,
everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
previous video, I actually, sorry to cut you off. I actually believe what Chelsea Football Club needs is a person who is able to control their team. Okay. As you know, and as everyone knows, we have an ownership that interfere in the day-to-day running of our team, and we need someone who's able to come in and say, look, this door, once I close it, nobody's walking in. This is space for the team, for my squad. You guys, you can't interfere in anything past this point. Okay. And the only managers that are able to do that are top class managers. I mean, Tuchel, Tuchel wouldn't shake Todd Bowley's hand because of something that Todd Bowley had said to him, and that kind of escalated into him being sacked. Okay, you want people like Arsene Wenger, like Alex Ferguson, like Jose Mourinho, like Simeone,
Okay,
who you
okay, okay,
mentioned.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So
I
you want
see, I
someone who's
see where
able
you're
to
going. I see where you're
put his
going.
foot down. Yeah.
I see where
Mo,
I see
I'm
where
very
you're
sorry
going.
to say this, but if that's the kind of managers you're thinking that will come in to take over Chelsea Football Club, it's never going to work with any American owner.
I
It's
agree.
never. It's
I
never gonna.
agree.
American have a policy.
Can I say
American have a
something quick?
policy. Americans have a policy. If I pay you, you can never run over me. You have to be underneath beneath me. That's Americans' policy. The rich people, that's their policy here. Donald Trump, what did they say? If you listen to yesterday, the comment, he said, "Are you going to be a dictatorship?" He said, "Only for one day after building the wall in Mexico. Only for one day." Did he look at that? Look at that controversial man. He said he wants to be a dictator for one day. He wants to impose his decision to build the wall. He wants to build Mexico. It's the same thing. If Todd Bowley comes in, he wants to see his players because that is what they used to here in America. They all the time. Because I go to hockey games, and these owners walk in the dressing room and talk to the players, although the coach is there. It's a tradition here in America. No one talks about it. It's something new in the English Premier League. People don't get it. But then the owner is not going to allow the coach to dictate to him because he brings in the money. That is why Mauricio Pochettino is kind of quiet. Because I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I was right there and I saw clearly Capital with what's his name? Is he beer-headed about it or whatever they call him? Just preseason, he was coming from the dressing room. He was right in there during halftime. He was right in there because I was right there thinking I can get one of the guys in and have maybe like 1 minute interview, which protocol did not allow me. He was just coming out during I think against Brighton. He was coming out from there. He was right in there. So they are used to it. They'll never let go. They'll never stop. They won't allow any coach to dictate to them because they bring in the money and they work for them. So I think that they're going to have a very, very big, huge issue with Mourinho. If Mourinho say, okay, no one comes in and I'm the coach and that kind of thing. But the only thing that I want from Mauricio Pochettino, he doesn't write the headlines very well. Look at Ange Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou, even when Tottenham Hotspur loses, the way he talks with the press, he takes all the headlines, and no one talks about the players. But now everyone is talking about the players, not the coach, which I don't get it. So if Jose Mourinho comes in, he will say something, and the headlines will be on Jose Mourinho. It will never be on the players. You get what that's the only thing that I like about Jose. I like about Antonio Conte. But besides that, nothing else. I want them to take in charge and then take the pressure of the players upon themselves for the players to perform. That's the only reason why I'll go for Jose. But not the tactical, just let them start playing football. Let them start winning. And maybe, who knows, they are good players. They can change their style of play. I don't know. But besides that, more. I don't know what else we can do with this Pochettino. I don't
We
know.
need, yeah, we need, yeah. Uh, I know we all love rulers. I love a ruler. I love, but what we have with Simeone, yeah, the reason why I'm saying that, because he has that energy, he carries it, and he's a tactical madman. You need a tactical ruler, not just a ruler, because the ruler is rebellious. You don't need him to be rebellious in certain areas. You need to be rebellious in
Yeah,
how he plays the football. Simeone is that. He's an upgrade to the Mourinho's and the Contes, because Contes they left strands behind that were not good for us. They got rid of players that were good for us. They did a lot of bad things, and Simeone is the mistake he's made so far. He's made up for them. So for me, if we give it a try, a tactical madman, we might have more results. But it all depends from upstairs, like you said.
Mhm. Let's get some few more points from Mr. Ryan regarding what we just said, the Pochettino and all the others, and what we just said. What's your thoughts on it before we wrap up here?
Yeah, I was listening to Kasim and Makin. It's I can see arguments for and against Mourinho. I think back to when Chelsea first, Abramovich first appointed Mourinho, 2004-2005 season, and you guys won the Prem. It was a pretty young squad. I remember the likes of Glenn Johnson, Terry, Cole, Lampard. And I think Drogba, you signed him that season as well.
Yeah.
And he built that team in a very short space of time, and they won the Premier League. And some of the records you guys made in that season, they still haven't been beaten. Least clean sheets, fewest clean sheets, least goals conceded in a season. So he managed to create a tough, firm defense, but then also play attacking football as well and score goals.
Yeah.
So huge respect for him for doing that. It's just I don't think that period in time Mourinho exists today. I think the game's moved on. I think he's been through a lot. He's won a lot, but he's been through sackings and emotionally, and his football philosophy, his tactics. I think just modern football has moved on, and I just don't think he would be able to rejoin the Premier League in its current state and how competitive it is, and be able to thrive. I think it would be a tough ask. I think the other point Kasim mentioned is very important, the corporate governance situation at Chelsea with Clearlake and Bowley and American ownership. I remember when he was at Chelsea and Abramovich was the owner. They weren't friends. I remember Mourinho said that. They never were friends. They just had a business relationship. And but the most famous one is with Drogba, right? We all know the quote: "Don't speak, just pay the money." And Abramovich did, and the rest was history. I'm not sure whether that kind of thing will, that kind of dialogue would happen with a Todd Bowley, how it would work. Bowley seems to be a different kind of character. He's more corporate, more from the corporate world, and he wants to be just involved in everything. So I could sense some friction there between the two.
I do agree with you, Stephen. It will be very difficult for these recent owners to, but sometimes Makim, let's go back again. Makim did talk about a negative football, which sometimes I don't think that is fair on Mourinho. Let's go back to Mourinho's Real Madrid when he won the La Liga. He outscored everyone. He had the highest, I think he had the highest goal scored from a specific team from La Liga for a very, very long time with Cristiano Ronaldo and all those players. We had all those players in there, and they were scoring goals, like averaging 4 goals every game, 3 to 4 goals each and every game during his time at Real Madrid, and even at Chelsea. So I think that Mourinho is, like we've also said to Postecoglou, to be a good Premier League manager, you have to be adaptable. He adapted. He knows what he have at his possession. When he's playing certain teams, he knows how to play them. He sit deep because he knows that probably this team philosophy is a bit different from his philosophy. They play more attacking football, very direct. So what should he do? Okay, I'm going to counter. I'm going to sit deep. I'm going to wait until the and then counter or attack you at the right time. It's the same thing people are doing to Chelsea now. Aston Villa did the same thing to Chelsea. Nottingham Forest did the same thing to Chelsea. A lot of Premier League teams have done the same thing to Chelsea with all the attacking style that we're playing. They sit deep and then wait for Chelsea to commit and make mistakes, and then they attack us. So I don't know why people always say that Chelsea play negative football. Ryan and Mo, what do you think? Do you think that Jose cannot play good attacking football with the present players that we have?
Okay, so if we look back at the two managers who have recorded success lately at Chelsea, we're looking at Conte, who won the Premier League and the FA Cup, and we're looking at Tuchel, who won the Champions League and the World Club Cup and the Super Cup. And if we look at those two and we compare them to Jose Mourinho and we compare what it is that they implemented, both managers when they came in, is there a problem with the audio? Me?
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. It was my
Yeah.
team. I was going to tell him to redo it again. But yeah, go
Okay.
ahead, Mo. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing that all these three managers did when they came in was to stop Chelsea from losing games. Okay, to stop. I mean, before you can think about winning games, you have to make sure you don't lose games. Okay. Tuchel, when he came in, he showed up the defense. Okay. You had players who weren't, really delivering. I'll give you an example. Rudiger. Rudiger under Lampard and Rudiger under Tuchel are two different Rudigers. Okay, the way that Tuchel imposed us in not conceding goals, in showing up the defense, in getting those clean sheets, and then we started to build on our attack. If you look at the first few games we played, they weren't spectacular in regards to how we were attacking, but they were spectacular because we were not conceding a ton of goals. We were able to get those clean sheets. We were able to show up the defense, and then we start to build on attack. One of the issues we have today is our defense looks really disorganized. I mean, the whole team is disorganized today, but especially our defense, we concede a lot of goals. We have scored a few goals in our past a few matches, but if we were able to keep those clean sheets, if we were able to avoid those errors in defense, then we are able to get these points, to get these wins. And I think managers like Tuchel, like Conte, like Mourinho, who do seem to have that focus on defense, is important. I think we need to build from the back. We need to stop losing games before we can start thinking about winning games. I also want to touch on a point that Ryan mentioned in regards to the relationship between Jose Mourinho and Roman Abramovich. He's 100% right in what he said. They didn't like each other, but they knew how to work with each other. Roman Abramovich knew he had a good manager who is able to identify players. I mean, I'm trying to remember who he was going for because Jose Abramovich wanted to bring somebody else in. I think he wanted to bring Ronaldinho in, but Jose said no. I want to get in Drogba. So at the time, Abramovich didn't know who Drogba was. He's like, who is this guy? He's like, don't worry about it. Pay the money, and leave the rest to me. And the rest is history. But he gave him that trust. Abramovich gave Jose Mourinho that trust and allowed him to do that. And I agree with you, Nee. American owners do interfere on a massive scale. But American owners also need to understand that if you want to succeed, you need to leave something for the manager to deal with. And this was mentioned when they first came in, and I'm not sure how accurate this is, but I read articles in respect to Todd Bowley wanted Tuchel to actually take a more advanced role in regards to the team, and who should be coming in and who should be going out in the transfer market and transfer window. But Tuchel rejected that assignment, and he said, "No, I want to focus on the players that I have. This part of the business is not really for me. It's more for the directors to deal with." And
It isn't the same thing that we have right now, Mo. Because
that is
Pod-
what we have. That is what we have right now. But I think initially, because we didn't have a full set of staff, and Todd Bowley, he was in the process of sacking Marina. He's in the process of making all those changes. I think he wanted to give Tuchel a little bit more of an onus in respect to doing that part of the business, but Tuchel wasn't interested in doing that. And I think today we do have some good people in the business, but I think they are not given the maneuverability, the flexibility to actually conduct the work independently, but they are having to go back to the consortium in respect to every little decision. And I think the instructions that have been given by the consortium to the directors and the scouting department is to focus on potential future development. And the idea is we pay for that, we pay 20 million today, we sell them for 60, 70, 80 million in a couple of years, and we've tripled our investment. But that doesn't do anything for the team. That doesn't do anything for the squad.
Hold on, wait. Can I say something? Can I hold on? Can I ask you one question quickly? So
Yeah,
if
sure,
that's
go
the
ahead.
case, yeah. If that's the case, yeah, wouldn't you play the talents here, or give the talents a chance, yeah, to at least prove themselves? Because in the same breath, here, you say that, yeah, but then they bought £106 million player like Enzo and £115 million player Casado. How are those youngsters here that you're talking about going to fit into the team if those players don't get rotated?
Yeah. So the model that they've actually implemented is for those players to be sent out alone, and Strasbourg is it's a hub for a lot of these youngsters. We've we're loaning a lot of players, and we're hoping that they can actually develop away from Chelsea. There are a few that are in the team who have been given the opportunity, but I don't see those players who are in the team who have been given the opportunity to be at that level. I you know, Badashila is a good player, but is he the centre back that will take Chelsea to a Premier League title? Maybe in a couple of years, but today I'm not so sure. Levi Colwell is a great player, but you're not playing him in his right position. He's a centre back who's
But
been
but
played as a makeshift.
how can you come?
Yeah, go on.
How can you come to that result yet if you haven't exercised? How can you come to that result yet if you haven't exercised yet the options you firstly opted out first? Use all them options first, then seek out. Why not use all the options you have? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like
When you say options,
I
can you clarify?
do kickboxing, innit?
Yeah.
I do kickboxing, innit? And
Mm.
sometimes, yeah, when I get into a hold, yeah, I go straight into my thinking. Oh yeah, this is BJJ. This is jujitsu. So I'll go into a jiu-jitsu mind to break out the lock so I can go back to my kickboxing.
Mm.
So I'm thinking to myself, so for me to, before I even get to that point here, I've used all my possibilities, yeah, that I could in my kickboxing. Clearly that wasn't good enough. So now I had to use something else. But before I use something else, I had to use all my kickboxing abilities.
Yep.
Did you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and what you're saying is
So it's like it's
based
like
on.
we're not giving the time for the youngsters here to show themselves
I
out because we're
I'm
buying
with you. I'm with
X
you,
X month
but you.
players, yeah, and then we have born talent that we have to entertain too, and then it
Mm,
becomes too much.
yep.
Those
You're.
guys become loaned out, and that now
Yep.
they are Nottingham Forest, yeah, not having no games, yeah. Diego Moreira, he's at Lyon. He's had
Yeah.
75 minutes playing the whole season. I
Yep.
mean, like, is that so it becomes a thing like, what are the directors the problem? What is the actual issue? What's
I,
going
I
on? Because these
I'm with
managers
I'm with
have
you.
a style
Yeah,
when they play
I'm with you
outside
100%.
of Chelsea.
I'm with you 100%. The example you gave, about the kickboxing and the jiu-jitsu example is based on a fighter who has the experience, okay, who knows how to adapt and how to adjust. Okay, when you're in that situation, because you have the experience and you have the know-how, you are able to adjust and you are able to implement a strategy that will enable you to get out of that hole, to get out of that situation. Unfortunately, the owners that we have don't have that experience, don't have that know-how, and they haven't given the people who they brought in with the experience and the know-how the opportunity to actually implement it. The players that we have, the ones that we have sent out alone, we have literally, put ourselves in a hole. I mean, the players you've mentioned, I would have been happy to see them in our current team if they had been given 3 or 4 fixtures within our squad. Is still better than sending them out and playing 75 minutes or not even playing one game.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but you see what you just said, yeah.
yeah,
But what you're saying, yeah, by you saying that, yeah, it's basically like saying, players have to be proven. It's like basically saying players have to be proven.
no, I'm not saying players have to be proven. I'm saying players need to get the experience, and the players that you're going to be used
Because
in
if
that going
players
to be
have to
used
be
in our
proven, yeah,
team.
it's not very fair on the younger ones, is it?
Yeah,
So
but
it's like you're looking for
the younger ones.
proven players at the same time, yeah. The younger ones are being explored out elsewhere, and then it's like we're not really seeing any of them. The same thing happened to Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salah.
The situation. No, no, I get the
All right,
point.
go
The
ahead.
point you're trying to make, and I'm not disagreeing with you. What I want to see, me personally, I want to see youngsters being given the opportunity to come through the ranks. But at the same time, I want to see us build a team that is able to compete. To build a team that is able to compete, you have to have a balance. You have to have a balance of youth. You have to have a balance of experience. You need the youth to be in that team, to be able to show the drive, the motivation, the desire to impress, the desire to prove themselves. And you also want to have the experienced players in there that are able to guide these youngsters, and show them the ropes. This is why I was very happy to see Thiago Silva be brought into Chelsea Football Club, because I know his experience will rub off on the likes of Chalobah and the other youngsters. We had trying to remember their names. Zuma in the team. We had the other French geezer. So we had a few youngsters that benefited from having Thiago Silva. And you need to have experience. You need to have players. I mean, we've sold Jorginho, we've sold Kovacic, we've sold Ziyech, we've sold anyone and everyone who's over the age of 25, apart from a couple. And that is, you can see it on the pitch. Once we get a player sent off, once we get, a couple of goals down, once something happens in the game where it makes the players angry, we lose control. The team loses control. And with experienced players, I mean, you remember the likes of John Terry and Balak, and you know those players would be always talking to each other, would always giving each other guidance, and you got to do this, you got to watch out for this, you got. At the moment, you don't see that in our team. You see players shouting at each other, but there's no one actually giving instructions, giving guidance. The last
The
the
cap,
last player that we
the
had that
captain
was
is
doing
even
that,
missing.
captain is missing. One player that I think we miss heavily is Aspilicueta. Aspilicueta, his mentality, his mindset. The past couple of years, his legs were gone. He wasn't able to perform at the level that he was performing before. But when he was on that pitch, the way that he would shout at players, the way that he would, tell players. I mean, do you remember that penalty in, I think it was the World Club Cup, when Kai Havertz was about to take the penalty, and all the players came around him. He took the ball from him, and they all assumed
Yeah,
that Aspilicueta was about to take that penalty, and they left Kai Havertz alone, and Kai Havertz could get his mind straight and focus on the task at hand. You need players who have that experience, who have that vision, who can do these kind of things. And unfortunately, right now with our squad, we've got some great players, talented players, but they lack the experience.
that's
Caicedo,
right.
fantastic player. Enzo, fantastic player. Even Mudryk, even Jackson. But because they don't have that experience, they don't have the correct mindset of how to address certain things. I mean, Jackson, he's got a ton of yellow cards because he can't keep his mouth shut. Okay, Gallagher, similar situation. I mean, as a professional player, I mean, do you guys remember Dennis Wise? I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Dennis
Yeah,
Wise when he was playing.
I saw Dennis Wise play.
Dennis Wise, when he'd play, he would get under players' skin. Like, they would try their utmost to get him angry, but he was always in control of his temper. He'd get angry when it suits Chelsea. Okay, but
That's
he would always get the other players rattled up. Roy Keane, another good example. Patrick Vieira. They knew how to get the other team to lose their control, lose their mindset. Rudiger, a recent player, Rudiger was doing that for us. He would get in players' faces. He would get them rattled up, and he'd laugh it away when it came to him. Even though he's angry, but he would laugh it away. Rudiger was never ever given a red card. He was never ever sent off.
And
Okay,
do you get that from Enzo?
I get that from Enzo. I get that from Enzo, but Enzo still loses his temper every now and then because he's still learning, he's still developing. I'm sure like I said, Caicedo, Enzo, and a whole bunch of other players, they will get to that point. They will become great footballers who would look at and be like, these guys are some of the best. But not today. They need a couple of more years for them to reach that point. And is Chelsea, are we as a fan base able to wait that long? And if we are, fantastic. But I don't see it. I think we are hungry for success. We have been used to success, season after season after season. And we've just had a couple of years of nothing. It's a drought. And not only have we not achieved anything, we have last season we finished 12th. This season, it looks
yeah,
like we're going to be in a similar type of situation, and that is
yeah.
unacceptable for us. And we have the right to demand better. And I know it's going to take a while for us to reach that point with this current model, but is the fan base going to be willing to wait? Should we be willing to wait? Now that there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
All right, thank you. You guys have said a whole lot. You've said it. You've said it all. But to me, from all that you guys have gathered regarding Colwell, I think that Poch is trying to play Colwell regarding his contract situation. Remember when everyone was asking, is he going to sign a new contract? So what should we have to do? Poch was trying to play him in the team to make me happy. I think he feel like there are other players in that left back row, but then in that center back row who are naturally also good in that position, but he wants to keep Cowell playing all the time. So he plays him at that left back row and then push Matson out from that place. I don't think he really he really like Matson to play in that back row.
Yeah, he
For
doesn't
that
like
height.
Madison. Yeah,
He
that's
doesn't
clear.
like him.
Yeah,
But that guy was
yeah.
good. I saw him play during preseason myself. Not just seeing him, talk to him. I talked to him. Which, you know, if someone doesn't like you, doesn't like you. There's nothing you can do about it. But Martin's not willing. The other football clubs who want to snatch him away during the January transfer window, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere. And also, we did talk about the owners. Also, someone I know, I don't know if Mo, you've heard this or you've read this from somewhere else. Before I come to that, let me see what we have. Gulam Mustafa, it says big up to you. Thank you very much, Gulam, for showing up on the channel. It says big up Nia and everyone here. Then it says the Drogba wasn't a success from day one. It took him one season to fit in, which is very, very true. Spot on.
27 years old.
Yeah, that is true. The balance need to be there. Yeah, Drogba was more matured though. It was around 26, 27 years old. Makim said he said that is true. The balance, the dressing room structure, and yeah, this is what I was saying earlier on. I've read something from somewhere that the owners are be worried and they are scared that Chelsea might be sanctioned, and when that sanction comes in, they won't be able to bring in players. If that happen, it means that that's the reason why Chelsea are signing all this number of players. Mo, I don't know if you've seen anything like that anywhere.
So that is definitely a possibility, but the actual charges are yet to be dealt with. Okay, so they need to go up, and Chelsea are going to have the right to dispute them. They're going to have a body set up to investigate the charges, and then if Chelsea are found to have committed the offences, then sanctions could be imposed, fines, penalties, a whole bunch of options that the FA has with respect to how to deal with it. And one of those could be a transfer ban, like we had in the past for a season, two, whatever the FA decides to do. But that isn't going to happen overnight. That is going to take a while for it to be done. And to be honest, even if we do have a transfer ban, regardless of how many players you have on loan, it doesn't give you the options that you think it's going to give you, because those players that we have on loan today, we have them, and we have got the opportunity to transfer. So what benefit is that gonna give us? I don't see having players on loan to be uh, an option or a benefit to should we go and be given a transfer ban. Um, the the way that the FA is actually moving right now is probably going to be a points deduction. They're probably not give us a 10-point deduction, a 20-point deduction, whatever they decide to do. They might even relegate us to the championship. There's a multitude of different scenarios that can
Relegation.
happen.
No, why the fuck not?
There's a multitude of different scenarios that can happen, and we can't plan for every single one. Okay, and if we are trying to plan for every single one, we're going to put ourselves in a worse position than just taking it when it comes and trying to deal with it when it happens. And if we look at the last time we were given a penalty, which was the transfer ban, which was implemented at the first season with Frank Lampard, it actually turned out quite well because of that transfer ban, we were able to bring through some very good youngsters from our academy, from Cobham. So there is a silver lining to every cloud, and we'll just have to take it on the chin and deal with it when it does happen, if it happens. And I say if, because the actual offences that were committed were not committed by this administration. The offences that were committed by Roman Abramovich and his team, which Todd Bowley and Clear Capital got rid of from the get go when they came in, and that could have been one of the reasons why they actually got rid of them, because they were aware of these offences that have been committed, and they wanted to distance themselves from those offences by cutting ties with everyone involved in that. So when the charges are heard, Todd Bowley, Igbali, Clear Capital, they did not do this. The current system, the current management system, the current squad, the current players, the current directors, they did not commit this offence. So for Chelsea to be penalised and to be sanctioned or fined
Mhm.
is up in the air. Would it happen? Because you're actually punishing an entity that wasn't the one that committed those offences, because those offences were committed by an individual and his team who are no longer part of this entity. So there's a lot of potential options and potential outcomes for this. So we'll just have to wait and see.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. We've been streaming for over 2 hours now. What a stream. KFC said we have an easy round of games coming up. Poch has 6 games to get the fans back on his side. And I want to love you forever. Sister Nizam, your late stream is booming tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It wasn't really scheduled to be late, but because of I have to do community project. Yes, after done doing it, I have to come back and then stream it. But it's they always say you don't know. Try it. This is usually the time that Mo stream. Mo have to bring one of these streams one of these days. He hasn't done a live stream in a long time. Bring it up, Mo. Once in a while, Mo, please.
I'll
Chelsea.
I'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, Nee, I've not had the time for streaming. As you know, streaming takes up a big chunk of your time, and I've not been able to do it. I'll be rolling out my videos whenever I can, whenever I have an opportunity. But yeah, being a YouTuber is not as easy as it used to be.
I know people don't know. Makin, bro, I've been telling you, your man over here is struggling. He's struggling a lot. It's not just struggling to do the stream, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot to put one stream together and do it. Not just I don't know, just sit down here and talk. No, but before you get all the package together for it to go out there, it's not that easy. You have legends like Mo. They started a long time.
I
It
can
was
see
Streets
I can
platform.
see your
That's
studio.
where, yeah.
Nice looking studio there. I see you,
I've
man. I see you.
Oh, bro, it's not easy. I mean, I'm not even talking about the studio, but then the words, the ideas, the titles, the tags, and all that thing that you got to put together to make that stream. It's not an easy thing, and anyone that is creating content, I always salute those people. And I learned a lot from my brother over here and other content creators. It was his platform that he gave me the exposure to come out there and then show myself of who I am. So I always, I see him, I respect him a lot. I respect him a lot. I've been on Terrace also, but I haven't been on any other platform like my man over here. You know, I've never met him long distance in the UK. I'm here in America, but yet, he showed me that love. He opened his door for me nicely, and I came in. He fed me, he gave me everything to eat and drink, and since then, yes, Blueclouds Media has been trending, has been growing because of knowledge that I learned from my brother here. So yeah, Robert Tahab, thank you very much for joining us here. Chelsea should not wait for nothing. Get a coach who can turn it over now. He mean now. It's Roman's secret of success. Do it now, so we can have at least a trophy this year. That what made Chelsea so unique. He wants a change now. Rabata wants a change now. Kasim, Mr. Mo, and then Makim, your brother wants a change now. Let's wrap it up, guys. Do you have anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Um,
You
first
first.
of all, thank you for the nice words, and and look,
It's Mo. It's not nice words. It is true.
no,
Do you think I'm lying?
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
lying,
no,
right?
no. Of course,
Cool.
you're my brother. You're my brother. No, of course. The thing is, Nee, this is a journey, and
Yeah.
it's it's something that we do because we have love and passion for. Um, when I decided to open my YouTube channel and create Chelsea content, it wasn't because I wanted to do it as a hobby or for fun. No, I did it because I actually had something that I wanted to say. I had a view that I wanted to share with people in respect to the club that I love, the club that that I have so much passion for and so much attachment to. And this is why I did it. And you're the same. Everyone who has created a channel, they created it because they want to have an input, have a voice, give a voice. And you remember when we used to do the streams, we'd be sitting there for hours. We used to do 3 4 hour streams. You remember that, back
Yeah.
in the day. And we did it, and we tried to get as many people to come on the show and to actually talk and give their opinions because we wanted to give a voice to the Chelsea community, Chelsea fan community, and that's the goal. And we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to speak
Definitely.
and try to give a rational opinion, a rational point of view to what's going on. And we're not always going to agree. I mean, me, you, everyone, that we speak to, as a fan, our opinions are subjective. We're not going to all agree on everything, but we all agree that we want to see Chelsea succeed. We all agree that we want to see the best outcome for our club, and that's what we aspire to, and that's what we are heading for. And I want to just ask anyone who comes across my channel, niche channel, any Chelsea fan channel out there, please show some love and some support and respect for those channels, because the people who are running those channels, they're working hard. They're putting a lot of effort in. So make sure click that like button and just show some support. Comment on their videos, share their videos, because giving exposure to these content creators will help them grow their channels. By their channels growing, you're increasing the voice of the Chelsea community. So don't hesitate to click that like button. It won't cost you anything, but it will help the channels a ton. So if you haven't hit the like button on this stream, make sure you do it, and support this channel. Guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you both, and I wish you all the best. And whenever I get an opportunity, if I can jump on, I'll jump on.
I know how busy you are. I know how busy you are. Thank you very much for also your kind words. It really means a lot to me here, and even seeing you here alone makes my day. I want to forever love you. She said, never give up, Nizion. I've seen you grow from day one till now. Look at your journey. Not everyone can be your fan. You win some, lose. You win some, you lose some. Just keep pushing for your dream. Much love, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. KFC, big up to you. Says Enzo is the future of Chelsea. Build a team around him. KFC went ahead and said, Zion, I'll try and get more sub for you, my brother. Thank you very much, KFC. KFC is another brother. We've known each other for almost about a year now. He's some brother from the Caribbean, I think Jamaica, to be precise. He's repping the channel all the way from Jamaica. Thank you, KLC. God bless you. You guys enjoy the rest of the day. Makeem, much love to you too, my brother, for joining the show and having your say.
Anytime.
All right, Mo, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night, guys. Guys, don't forget to drop your like, and we'll see you guys again same time tomorrow. Leo Desperandos, hang on to hope. Bye-bye, guys.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blueclouds TV.